For today's special value. For those of you who might be joining us for the very first time, well, welcome. You are all welcome all the time. What we're going to do in this hour is we are going to make an easy commitment. I'm not going to ask you to run a couple of miles. I am going to ask before you take anything that you check with your doctor. That's a natural. But Dr. Gundry has been such an inspiration for all of us. He's a brilliant man. I'll introduce him properly in just a little bit, but I just have a couple of questions for you. And one is, when you got up this morning, how are your joints feeling? And I think a lot of us, myself included, have really started to feel my knees. We can do better. How about your digestion? How about enough fiber in your diet every day? Maybe some days, maybe not. Vitamin C? Here's statistics. 90% of U.S. adults do not eat the daily recommended amounts of fruits and vegetables. So we don't have to feel guilty because we got a lot of company. 95% of U.S. adults are not getting the recommended amount of fiber. We are going to help you just by asking you to take 2 of these delicious gummies that Dr. Gundry created for us. They're called Mighty Flex gummies for you. Let me tell you what you're going to be able to shop for, and then I'm going to ask for your help. Because if you have ever used any of Dr. Gundry's products, I'd love to hear from you. We'll put our story line up, 1-800-395-1601, because 325,000 containers of Dr. Gundry's formulas have gone to you, and you're continuing to come back and shop with us. So we'd absolutely love to hear from you, or even if you have a question. We're giving you an option because we thought that maybe you'd want to try the 30-day supply. This is a 1-month supply for you, 30 days. Today's special value price is $45 and change. 5 easy pays at $9.20 is an option for you. Get them home, try it out. There's 30 servings, there's 60 gummies. So in each serving, as you can tell, you get 2 of these gummies. According to my math, it's $1.67 per serving. If you'd like to get the better value of the 2, which is really the way to go if you could swing that, the today's special value here is $69.98. 5 easy pays at $14. There's 60 servings in here, so that's about a 2-month supply. And really, that's your best value. You're going to save $21.98 on the 60-day versus the 30-day, but we wanted to give you both options. Blue raspberry flavor. It is sort of sweet and also a little tart. Everyone keeps saying it tastes like a yummy candy. It tastes like a gummy. It doesn't stick in your teeth. It doesn't give you a bad aftertaste. And gosh, it's going to get us up to speed on all of these things, which I think is so very important. Before we go to Dr. Gundry, I want you to see there's no auto delivery, unfortunately. So if you wanted to get a year's supply, and that's up to you, but there is no auto delivery. So as you fall in love with this and you feel the effects of it, and you feel good about it, we don't want you to stop, because at the end of the day, the price on this is going to go up. And we're the only place. You cannot even go to his website and find it at this price, exclusive all the way through August on this. So if you want to make that commitment for a full year, you could get 6 orders of the 60-day supply. So you could think about that if that works for you. And you know what? That's $1.21 a serving. And I don't know about you, but I can easily blow through $1.21 going and, you know, getting something out of our little cafeteria here for my ride home, and just blowing through $1.21. So think about that for the 60-day. All right. Dr. Stephen Gundry is with us. Dr. Gundry is a medical doctor, a researcher. He is a cardiothoracic surgeon, and he's a best-selling author. He is now with his family in France, so we get to go ahead. Dr. Gundry, the only regret I have is that we didn't go on location with you. How are you, sir?
I know we should be filming on location. Well, I'm on location, so what the heck? Great
Thank
to
you
see
for
you, Pat.
interrupting. Thank you for interrupting your moment there to come keep us company all day long, because I love the idea of making a commitment to take better care of myself, and you have just made it so easy for us. I don't ever remember talking about all of these areas, so let me start. Why did you actually create this one for us, these gummies?
Well, as you know, I created Gundry MD to get my patients to actually take some supplements that could benefit their health. And I still see patients 6 days a week. And one of the things that struck me very early on was a couple of things. Number one, in general, women don't particularly like to take pills or tablets. It just,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife's the same way.
Doesn't go down
And
easy.
it doesn't
Yeah.
go down easy. And
Mm-hmm.
so initially at Gundry MD, we started with some very popular products at QVC. Vital Reds is probably the most famous, and then we had Power Blues. And then more and more and more of my patients, when I first see a new patient, we notice that, oh, they have joint issues. Many people have had knee replacements or hip replacements. And actually, 70% of Americans over the age of 50 have joint issues. I mean, think
Mm.
about that. And we think about it,
Wow.
oh, I'm just getting old, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just natural, and it's just arthritis, and there's nothing you can do about it. But in fact, there is. Now, there's a lot of places you can go, big box stores, and you get these giant tablets that they're okay, but you're not going to swallow them. So I said,
Mm-mm.
well, why can't I make a product that works, that has been tested in what are called placebo-controlled trials against a fake product, and promote joint support, promote joint comfort, and put it in a absolutely delicious gummy. Folks probably remember this past year, we introduced Mighty Reds, our first gummy, exclusively to QVC. And so this time around, I wanted to combine a lot of the benefits of Mighty Reds in a joint support formula that we started with a really interesting compound that's called Q-actin. And for those who are interested, it actually comes from a special breed of cucumber. And again, this compound has been shown in multiple human trials, but in one, it was a placebo-controlled trial. What that means is half the people were given the active ingredient, Q-actin, and the other half of the people were told they were getting the active ingredient, but there wasn't anything in it. And they were followed for a number of months, and only the people who actually got Q-actin had improved joint mobility and comfort compared to the people who thought they were getting the real thing. They didn't have any benefit. So this is a way we prove in medicine that something actually works rather than you just thinking it works. Now, the second thing that most people unfortunately don't know is we are one of the few animals that don't manufacture vitamin C. Uh, Believe it or not, guinea pigs, us, and New World monkeys, if anybody's taking notes.
Interesting combo.
So what? Well, it turns out that we have to have vitamin C really for three big reasons. Number one, vitamin C is essential for our white blood cells to work, our immune system. Number two, most people don't know that they've heard of collagen. Collagen's big now,
Mm-hmm.
collagen powders, collagen, everything. Well, collagen is basically the rebar that holds our joints together, that holds the surfaces of our bones together. And unfortunately, when things flex, that rebar breaks. And you have to have vitamin C to knit the rebar back together. Otherwise, it stays broken. And that's where this pain and arthritis comes
Okay.
from. And you got to have vitamin C every day. Now, people say, oh, well, I'll have a glass of orange juice to get my vitamin C. Well, not so fast. Unfortunately, one glass of orange juice is the same amount of sugar as a whole soda. And human studies that I've written about in my book, one glass of orange juice will completely paralyze your white blood cells for 6 hours
Wow.
after you drink it. Whoa! So that's not the way to get vitamin C. So I've combined Q-actin for joint support, vitamin C to knit that collagen back together and get your immune system back going. But even better than that, if anyone who's read my books, and my most recent one is Gut Check, we know that the microbiome, all these 100 trillion organisms that live in our gut, I call them our gut buddies, actually have to be fed fiber. And it's called prebiotic fiber or soluble fiber. And as you mentioned, 98% of us in the United States don't get the adequate amount of fiber in our diet. And that's for one very simple reason. Our great-great-grandparents were eating whole foods, and they were eating those whole foods whole. Nowadays, almost everything we eat is processed or ultra processed. And so all of the stuff that the bacteria actually need to eat, all of this soluble fiber, is thrown away. And what happens is that we eat and eat and eat, and our gut bacteria are down there waiting, saying, okay, he or she is eating. I know something's coming for me, and it's coming, and it never arrives. So believe it or not, these bacteria send text messages to our brain saying, hey, go get some more food because we're starving to death down here. And that's why, obesity is so rampant in the United States, is that we never feel satisfied. And there's really cool human studies showing if you give these bacteria what they want to eat, they tell you you're full and you don't have to eat anymore. And it's a really amazing effect of this soluble fiber. And there's 4 grams of soluble fiber in this dose of Mighty Flare. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And we've done that all, believe it or not, without putting any sugar, any artificial sugars. These are actually vegan, and they're all accomplished with these natural compounds. Speaking of which, the last thing that I'm famous for is polyphenols. And people go, well, what the heck is a polyphenol? Well, everybody knows those really beautiful, dark colors in fruits and vegetables, those intense colors like you see on the screen right now. That color is natural colors from extracts of these plant compounds called polyphenols. Now, what's so important about that is that polyphenols are the plant's way of protecting itself from damage, from sunlight, from insects. And when we eat those polyphenols, we actually get all of those antioxidants that the plant was using to protect itself, and we get it. And so getting these polyphenols into people's diets has been one of my missions for the last 25 years. And what better way than this super delicious, you're right, it tastes like candy. And why not? And so that's why I made this product, because now nobody's got to slug down this giant tablet or even go to the trouble of making a drink of Vital Reds. You just walk by the counter and pop a couple of these in your mouth, and they don't stick to your teeth, and they're delicious.
Absolutely delicious. All right, let me catch everybody up. And again, the 2 of us would absolutely love to hear from you at home who've used the Dr. Gundry products, any of them. Go ahead and call us. If you have a question for Dr. Gundry, go ahead and call us. First and foremost, if you have a question, take this to your healthcare provider. But you got to decide today, because by the end of the day, the price on this is going up. And sadly, there is no reorder on this. We decided that we would do a 30-day, just in case you didn't want to make that much of a commitment. Although this commitment is to yourself and maybe somebody else that you absolutely love, who you find now who's slowing down, knee comfort, joint health. Would that help you in your daily life? Dr. Gundry, I could, I always get them mixed up, on Labor Day, I was with my daughter and I was walking down the steps, and cement steps, and I misjudged and I sprained my ankle. That was fine. I went to physical therapy and it scared me when I was in physical therapy because I looked around and I was like, oh my gosh, these people really, I only had to go for like 6 weeks, but these people were really in pain and a lot of them were so limited on what they were able to do. I don't know about you guys, but I want to be able to go ahead and enjoy my life.